First off, thank you guys for making the trek here and being here. Obviously, it was also great to see so many Tiger fans. It was good to see that blue in the corner and show their support for their Tigers. So we appreciate that. Anytime you have the opportunity to go on the road and get a win, we're grateful for that. And I think it speaks volumes about the guys continuing to be all in. And in this game going in, we kind of had three things that we wanted to do to separate us and that were going to be our keys to victory. The first was to come out and play with great details in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And with those details, we needed really, great communication more than anything. As you guys saw, their offense played in a lot of different formations. I thought our defense played with wonderful communication. Our offense, conversely, could have cleaned some of the stuff up. Too many penalties, things that we could get done. And then special teams, great communication, obviously, with the variety of things that they do. But the details of our game, I'd say that we did a decent job with that. Secondly, obviously, as you guys know, it's always important for us to own the football and take the football. And ball security was important. Obviously, we did not do a good enough job on offense in the first half with the sack fumble. And there's a lot of people to blame for that one, but we'll get that fixed. You can never turn the football over and expect to win football games. But then to get that takeaway at the end was great. And then finally, the third key to victory and establishing who we are and what we want to be by being all in, I think, was ultimately going out there and playing with relentless effort. And I think anybody that got to watch the Tigers today sat there and said, man, those guys played really, really hard. So quite pleased with the way they did things. The effort was there and the mindset, the approach. Obviously a quick turnaround because we got Arkansas at home this coming up Saturday at 11 a.m. at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. So for all of our Tiger fans, we need you guys to go out and buy the tickets, fill the stadium, and be loud and proud to support your 3-0 Tigers and see if we can find a way to go 1-0 this week.
Ryan, 112 yards for short total. Just what was the message to your defense after seeing them do that performance?
Well, I'm just so proud, right? Obviously, opening drive, the offense goes down there and cleanly executes a great drive and scores. Pleased with that. And then the defense goes out and then they have that seam ball, obviously in a legal formation, and the defense kind of settled back down. And to think about this, Frank, I'm so proud of, it's not always necessarily the yards, but just the way they played hard and the way they ran to the ball. The pursuit angles was something that we talked about we needed to improve upon. And I was quite pleased with that, right? To think about that Troy's offense crossed the 50 only on the last drive of the entire game. I mean, that speaks volumes to the way the defense is playing, and we're going to need them to continue to play at a high level, and quite proud of them.
When Crowder goes out of the game, it seemed like the pressure was ratcheted up. Was that, intentional and trying to speed the guy up?
I think that's part of it. I think, Crowder, obviously, we saw what he did versus Clemson in the first half, and even when Clemson tried to light him up, he got rid of the ball quickly, and they hit some explosives. And that's a team that went down to the number 8 Clemson last week and took them behind the woodshed for 2.5 quarters. And then so we knew when that backup came in, we're going to have to make him make quicker decisions, find ways to pressure him and make him speed up his decision making. So that was certainly went into it.
Brady Cruz makes one of the best catches we've seen in a long time. What's going through your mind on this side?
Well, first off, I'm pretty even keeled, right? And then, okay, well, of course it's going to go to replay. And so, okay, is our offense back out there? Is the field goal unit, right? Is it the extra, we're going to kick an extra point, the offense going back. So a lot of things that go through your mind. Obviously a phenomenal catch. Hopefully it makes SportsCenter top 10. It certainly should. And first career touchdown catch, that's a heck of a play to make. So quite proud of him.
How'd you, as a whole, the receiver room, we saw Cortez a lot in the first quarter. How'd you feel like that room? I know we've been talking about the depth and everything, kind of a couple of guys starting to separate themselves.
Yeah, I know you guys want me to sit here and say this is the top dog, but we're so fortunate, Jonah, that you got to go through the stat line and say this guy played, this guy played, this guy played. And we had a variety of different guys that even had balls that were thrown at him, right? Jakari Caldwell, had a deep seam ball that was thrown to him. Jaden Thompson with a huge catch to get the first down with an explosive play. So I think it's great as long as we can continue to find guys that can go out there and play at a high level for us. But I'm pleased with them. They'll even be the first to say there's better things they could have done with perimeter blocking or blocking at the second level or making the tough catches and continue to find ways to win the one-on-ones.
Coming into the game, was the deep ball something you guys wanted to emphasize on, or did it just happen that way in that first half?
I think part of it, Frank, was they're going to continue. Any team that wants to play some man coverage, we're going to have to find ways to attack them. And a lot of those end up being, quote unquote, shots down the field. Okay. And so the deep ball is part of it if it's built in or if they're playing down on top of a hitch and maybe it's a conversion route. But I thought, being able to challenge them and press it, obviously we have enough speed to be able to do so. and that was part of it. And then depending on the coverages, as I mentioned in the press conference and even pregame radio, this is a team that, like I said last week, what they did versus Clemson was, amazing. And you sit there and say, well, that was a whole new defense. So reality, we prepared for 3 different defenses, and you've got to be careful. We've got a really great group of young men that are really intelligent, that watch a ton of film. But as coaches, it's easy to sit there and say, we can do this, we can do that, we can attack this. That's great, but at the end of the day, we need our guys to play with confidence and play very fast. And I thought just giving them a little bit of, hey, this is what they may do, this is what they may do, let's make adjustments. So in the first half, they were allowing some of those deep shots and some of the vertical passing games, so we had to try to take advantage of it.
Other than the sack fumble, how'd you feel about Brendan's decision-making from week 2 to week 3?
Yeah, I thought Brendan continues to put this offense in the right spots. I think that's so huge. I laugh when people say, well, you say he's a game manager. I was like, well, guess what? I've called Seth Hennigan a game manager, Brady White a game manager, Riley Ferguson a game manager. Those are pretty good quarterbacks. And I think he continues to do a great job of putting us in the right spots to go out there and have success. But the wonderful thing about that young man is he's going to go back and watch the film and say, Coach, I could have done this, I should have done this, I should have sped this up, and I should have done this. And guess what? He already knows that right now in the locker room. Like, we're going to go back and talk about it. And I'm sure on the flight home, he's going to be watching the iPad saying, okay, these are things I can get fixed. And that's what you appreciate in a quarterback. And Brendan Lewis certainly is one of those types.
Obviously, we didn't see Greg out there today. Chauncey Logan also. Is there other updates on those guys?
I think continue to be day to day. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. The guys have been working their tails off. I promise you they want to be out there on the field. We're hoping they're not long-term injuries. We truly feel like at any given moment when they feel healthy and the doctors give them clearance, they'll be out there in the field.
And then you mentioned, obviously, the Arkansas game is next. You mentioned it. How good does it feel that you've gotten to that moment? Obviously, this is a big-time game for the fans and everyone with the SEC opponent coming in Memphis.
Yeah, look, you guys will know this, and this is not coach speak. This is the goodness truth. Like, the blinders have been so dialed in for every single person in our program. I don't think, I got asked, don't overlook Troy. And what about, really, unless someone handed the schedule and said, hey, here's your next game. This is a tough opponent that we just played. Georgia State's a tough opponent. They're all hard. And it's really hard to win college football games. I'm going to get back to the locker room. I'm sure I'm going to see some scores. I'm going to be like, wait, what happened? And so, look, I understand the importance of this game. For me, it's the next one. And for our team, it's the next one. But guess what? It's great to be back home. I feel like we've been gone for too long. I'm going to give the birthday boy, Dr. Ed Scott, a hard time about, booking us 2 away games back-to-back, versus Sun Belt teams. And so ultimately, it's going to be great to be back home. And more than anything, I think what this does is we understand Arkansas as a national name. And for us to be able to go back in front of our wonderful fans, I think it's going to be a packed house. And they're going to be cheering loud and proud. And I just think there's so much to celebrate. But more than anything, it's that next game. And get to go watch the Tigers come out and play really hard. And that's what they do. They battle. This group perseveres. And just so proud. And I cannot wait to be back home in front of our great home crowd. And, oh, by the way, we get to play an SEC opponent.